Today, we're going to talk about a very important topic. Okay, it's all about how to learn gymnastic skills, brackets, and many other things with confidence, without feeling like a failure, without feeling like, oh, I'm never going to get there. No, you will get there, and I'll show you how to get there. Okay, right? So we're going to jump into the presentation right now. Here we go. I'm going to share my screen. There we go. So welcome everybody to this very, very interesting session. I'm not going to teach any skill, but I would like to teach a little bit of mindset. I would like to twist your mindset a little bit. So hopefully it's going to be much easier for you to learn things, embrace failure, and making sure that you learn things in a much smoother way without any stress. If that sounds good, let's jump into it. First thing first, like I said, how to learn gymnastics with confidence. You are going to be my super gymnast, and I want you to start learning things in the correct way. Start learning things in a way that you can celebrate yourself. And on the other hand, you are progressing step by step. Okay? If that sounds good, then let's jump into it. Now, first thing first, I know it sounds a little bit strange or controversy. The thing is, I want you from now on, from this session onwards, to start celebrating your mistakes you make and your failures. Okay? Right? So no matter what you're learning, it could be any gymnastic skill, it could be anything at school, it could be any of your hobbies, cheerleading, dance, whatever you do, guys. From now on, if you make a mistake, I want you to start celebrating. And at the end of this presentation, everything is going to make sense. Okay, so here we go. First of all, when we learn, right, it doesn't really matter what, but let's stick with gymnastics for now, right? There are two ways of learning skills in gymnastics. The first one is like when you want to learn a new skill. Okay, let's talk about I don't know, handstand forward roll, backward walkover, forward walkover, okay, backward roll to handstand maybe. Things that you have never ever done before. At this stage, you're just dreaming about these things, right? At this stage, you're like, oh my days, I wish I could do that, but I don't know how to get there, right? So that's the new way. The other way is relearning old skills, meaning you are very good at, let's say, handstand, and you can do a forward walkover or backward walkover, but you want to take them to the next level. You would like to have a split in between. You would like to do with straight legs. You would like to go from a 1 second handstand to like a 4, 5, or 10 second handstand, right? But it means that you need to relearn some of the skills, and also you need to let go a couple of habits, which you will see right now. So first thing first, new skills. You have new information, right? Things that you have never done before, things that you never tried before. You don't know what to expect. And this is absolutely okay, right? Now, what can you do? I would like to do my first backward walkover. Okay, what I would suggest is use the videos of the Home Gymnastics Academy. Ask your coach, that's me, hey, right? Ask your coach, what are the steps I need to do? And that is going to take you to the second point straight away. So you need to break it down. You need to set little milestones for yourself in order to step by step get to do that walkover. Okay, to learn that walkover, you need to sort out your bridge. You need to have a nice kickovers to start with. You need to learn how to do back bend. Okay, but you can break even that one down, back bend. If you can't do it on the floor, do it on the sofa, do it by the wall. So there's always little things, and this is where I and the Home Gymnastics Academy comes into the picture. This is when you ask your question in the Facebook group. This is when you book your one-to-one, guys, right? And this is when you go through the skill board. And if you can't find anything, just raise your hand. Hey, I would like to learn this. How do I go about it, right? So we need to break things down. And also very important that you want to receive some feedback, okay? Meaning you do something and then post it in the Facebook group, or during the one-to-one, I can give you some corrections in order to make sure that you are on the right path, make sure that you are achieving your goals the fastest way possible, and so you don't feel behind, or you don't feel like, you know what, I'm a failure, I can't do this. No, you can do this. You just need to have a step-by-step map ahead of you that you can follow and be adjusting your things. And in that case, you're going to get to where you really want to. On the other hand, like I said, let's say you want to do your handstand, but you want to hold it for 5 seconds, right? So there are some habits that you already have, because you can do that skill already. You just don't know how to make it better. So we need to, first of all, find these things. We need to identify what is actually the things that you're doing well, and what are the things that you're doing not so well, right? And this is, again, where I come into the picture. I can give you some corrections, right? So you can kind of start dropping these bad habits, like, for example, handstand. Your head is out a little bit, your arms are too wide. Let's say you're arching your back, but is that arch coming from your lower back, from your feet, or where does it come from? So you need to go and find out all these little things that I can help you with. Okay, so these are the things. And then now we're going to take it to the next level, where we start learning new habits. Okay, keeping the head in between the arms, right? Squeezing your tummy when you kick to a handstand. I'm going to give you some balancing exercises that you can do by the wall, right? So step by step, you start building up your balance by picking up on good and better habits. Okay, right. And then it's very important, because you're going to receive feedback again. But it's not just the feedback that, oh, you need to do this, you need to do this. It's more like a reminder at this stage, because you know how to do handstand, but maybe you have a habit of stepping into it very short, right? And that's why you break that handstand shape, so you can't hold it for long enough. So I need to remind you, you don't need to learn this, but I need to remind you, hey, longer step into it if you want to hold the handstand longer, right? So these are the two differences between learning a brand new skill and adjusting or relearning an old skill that you want to make it better. But the common thing is that whether it's the new skill that you're learning or whether it's relearning another skill, you need to do one thing very well. You need to embrace failures, because all these failures are the ones that are going to help you to get better. What do I mean by that? For example, let's say you want to do a bridge kick over. Okay, many of you working on this skill, right? Bridge kick over. Let's say it's a brand new skill for you. You can't do a bridge kick over right now on the floor. Are you a failure? No, you're not. You are in the learning process, right? Again, and there are so many solutions. There is so many little things that you can do to get you there to do a kick over on the floor. You can start from the sofa, right? Or you can start with the little kicks that we taught in the bridge challenge as well, and the bridge videos. So there is little things. Just because you can't do something, it doesn't mean that you're failing at something, right? Okay. Or, for example, relearning an old habit. You keep going back bend, you keep doing your back bend, and you keep, landing on your hands very hardly. You're dropping on your hands, right? That's an old habit. So does it make you a failure? Right? Not really at all, because there are, again, preparation things that you can do to make it better. And that failure, that mistake helped you to discover that, hold on, I'm doing this wrong. So that's why I cannot go and do the backward walkover yet, because I keep dropping on my hands. I don't have control over the move. And this is why you need to have some mistakes. You need to make some mistakes, guys, in order to find out what is actually stopping you from going to the next level? What is actually stopping you from learning that skill? And this is why I want everybody to start celebrating when you get some correction, when the handstand doesn't go according to plan, because you receive new information like, you need to adjust this, you need to adjust this. Now imagine, if you just keep going to handstand and you can only hold it for 1 second, but it's never ever going to change, that would be very sad, right? And you don't know why it's not changing. This is why, because you're making the mistake of arching your back. The step is not long enough. Your hands are like this instead of being on a straight line. And this is why you need to have these little mistakes. You need to make these mistakes in order to start learning the correct things. And once you learn the hand position, then you learn how to not to arch your back, how to keep your head in between your arms. Guess what happens? You start progressing, you start improving, and these failures, these mistakes are helping you actually to move forward. So again, what do? we are happy because we need to celebrate these things because we are improving and progressing. Okay, now my question is, what is really the goal when it comes to learning gymnastics? Let's stick with the handstand, right? Okay, the handstand one. The goal is to learn the handstand in 5 minutes. That's it. I've got 2 goals. Boom. I've got the perfect handstand. That's it. I'm done. There's no way anybody can do that. Okay. So the goal is not to learn things like straight away, not to not make any mistakes, right? The goal is actually to increase the number of the good goals. Okay. What does it mean in a handstand example? Here we go. So let's go with the handstand. You're learning the handstand, right? There are 3 weeks here on the screen. You can see week 1, week 2, week 3. And then you decide that every single week you give it a go 10 times. Yeah, you kick to handstand 10 times. And I really want you to make this table, guys, and then write down how it is going for you. Right, let's see. Week 1. The red X means that it didn't really go according to plan. You either overcooked it, so you kicked over too much, or you came down too early, or you were twisted, or you couldn't hold it, right? These are the red X's. The ticks means that you are happy with that handstand because you hold it for 2 seconds, 3 seconds, whatever your goal is, but you're happy with that, right? So let's have a look at week 1. So we've got 1 mistake, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red X's. It means, guys, that 7 times out of 10 times, it didn't go according to plan. Does that make you a failure? Not at all. Are you making mistakes? Absolutely. And you should be in order to progress. Now, because you booked your one-to-one session, because you follow through the videos, because you're practicing on a regular basis, right? Let's see what happens in week 2 with all these adjustments and all this feedback that you've received from me and from the videos, not making these mistakes. Let's have a look what happens on week 2. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 handstands that didn't really go according to plan. Okay, so from 7 we went down to 5, and look what happened to the good goals. Week 1, 1, 2, 3 good goals that you were happy with. Week 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good goals. So we are increasing the numbers of the good goals, and this is what we are looking for, right? Week 3, I think you got the picture by now, right? Week 3, let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3 mistakes or failures, if you want to call it, only, right? Week 1, 7. Week 2, 5. Week 3, only 3 handstand didn't go according to plan. But what happened to the good goals? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 good goals. Remember, we started with 3 only, but because of the feedback, because of the videos, because of the mistakes, and all the corrections that you implemented very, very fast, on week 3, you have 7 good goals, from 3 to 7. And on week 4, I do believe it's going to be 8 or 9 good goals. And slowly, slowly, within a month or 2, you learn your best handstand. And this is how it works. And this is why I want you to start celebrating things, right? Now, guys, I have an example. Some of you, I think pretty much everybody has been a baby at one point, right? Or you have a little sister or brother in your household, right? And then you saw them kind of growing up, you saw them starting to walk, right? But could they just, walk on their own straight away? No way. You've seen them, how they started to learn. They do 1 or 2 steps, boom, and then they fell on their bottom. Then they stand up, 1 or 2, 3 goes, boom, they sit down again, right? This is how they learn. And at the end, it doesn't matter whether they fall 10 times or 20 times, eventually they're going to start they're going to learn how to start walking. I mean, there is no way you would stop a little boy or a little girl who is just about to start walking to say, hello, hold on. You fell on your bottom 5 times today. Stop it. You're never going to learn that walking, right? It just doesn't exist because they only have one goal in their mind. I want to know how to start walking. It doesn't matter whether it's 5 times I'm sitting down, 10 times, whether it takes me 1 day or 2 weeks, it doesn't matter, because at the end, eventually, I'm going to get there. I'm going to be able to walk on my feet, right? And this is the kind of mindset I want you to embrace. I want you to have this kind of mindset, because guys, it doesn't really matter how many times you need to go to handstand or how long it takes. The goal is to teach you that handstand, that walkover, that kickover, and then you are going to get there. And you know what the good news is? If you follow the instructions, if you keep up with the videos, if you put a little bit effort into it, if you get some feedback from me, then having these skills, learning these skills are inevitable. They are going to happen. You just need to keep strong. You just need to make sure that you celebrate your mistakes. Don't do them on purpose, of course, but celebrate the mistakes, because every single little mistake, every single little error that I correct, or you can correct yourself by watching the videos, it will help you to get there. It will help you to build that skill. Okay, right? So this is why I want you to start from now on, guys, to start celebrating all the mistakes you make, all the handstands, all the kickovers, all those things that didn't go according to plan. That's okay. Human being, we are all human beings, and mistakes are part of the learning process, right? You shouldn't have less confidence in yourself. You shouldn't feel shy about these things. You shouldn't feel like, oh my days, I will never ever going to get there. You just need to break things down. You just need to get some feedback, and you need to make sure that you make mistakes and you start implementing the new things and you start learning from these things, right? Okay, this is when we celebrate. So I want you from now on to change your mindset completely. Okay, this is where I want you. Like, I'm going to be confident. Doesn't matter how long it takes, doesn't matter how many goes, doesn't matter how many videos I need to watch, doesn't matter how many feedback I need to receive in order to get there. It's inevitable that I'm going to learn this skill, or I am going to learn any skill, you know, the one that you really desire, that one you want, whether it's gymnastics, cheerleading, dance, or any other sports, or any other area of your life, guys. You're going to get that. You just need to know, you just need to have someone who is going to help you to get there, right? You can ask me, you can watch the videos, you can post in the group in order to get there. Now, here we go. I think I just made a mistake in the presentation, and I just had a look at it last minute, and it turned out like this. Now, does that make me a failure? Not at all. Did I make a mistake? Yes. And what did I learn from it? I learned that next time I'm going to run it through this software to see if it's okay or not, right? Okay, so guys, but apart from this thing, you know, the presentation, I hope you find it valuable, right? So it doesn't really matter whether you can read the words or not. I'm going to tell you anyway what I'm talking about. The thing is, I made a mistake, but now I learned that I need to do it properly next time. You know, I need to make sure that I run it through this software as well. End of story. And I'm celebrating because it's never ever going to happen to me. Maybe it will. I don't know. But anyway, first thing first, you need to focus on your goals, right? It doesn't really matter what the others are doing in the gymnastics club. It doesn't matter what your friends are doing, your cousins are doing. It doesn't really matter who is ahead of you, even within the academy, guys, right? We have different levels, we have different people, different gymnastics backgrounds. It doesn't really matter. You shouldn't be feeling shy, nervous, or stressed about posting something or posting your question, or you shouldn't be even comparing yourself to others at all. You know, like, oh, she can hold the handstand no, oh, she can already do the walkover, so I'm not even going to ask in the Facebook group. It shouldn't work that way at all, right? Because the only person you need to compare yourself to is yourself. Where was I last week and where I am right now today? And you need to focus on that. Could I do the, let's say, the bridge kickover last week? No, I couldn't. I had my one-to-one, right? I watched a couple of videos. Now I'm kicking over from the sofa. Yay, very, very good. This is what I want you to focus on, right? Your goals and yourself only, right? The other thing I want you to focus on, I know you can't read it, but it means celebrate your small wins, right? It doesn't really matter whether someone just learned their walkover or their best, I don't know, handstand forward roll. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that you couldn't do the bridge kickover 2 weeks ago. Today, we are working on bridge kickovers, taking it from the sofa all the way to the floor. Wow, this is where we celebrate, because 2 weeks ago we couldn't do the skill, but now we're working on something different. And this is what I call progress. And this is what I call that you need to celebrate these small wins. Now, We talked about embracing the failures. We need them, guys. I'm sorry. You know, you will make mistakes of no matter what you learn. You will make mistakes. There will be a couple of failures, a little bit. That's okay. It's not the end of the world, right? You can always seek help. You can always get advice. You can always watch that videos. That's it. And sometimes it just takes a little bit of time to settle in your mind, to physically, to get there, to have that flexibility, to have that strength, you know, in order to do that skill. That's okay. Be patient with yourself, right? And tap yourself on the shoulder that you're still here, you're still part of the academy, and you're still doing really, really well. Okay, you are my little winners, right? You are my super gymnast. There's no way just because we struggle with a bridge kickover for 2 weeks, we're gonna give up on that. There's no way, right? Okay, and this is what I want you to feel now, that I can embrace the failure. It's okay. It's part of the journey, right? Very important thing, and I ask everybody whenever we have one-to-ones or whenever you learn something, post it in the Facebook group, guys, right? It has the date on it, right? Why is it important? So you can start tracking your progress. In September the 1st, I couldn't push up to bridge, and I know it happened to many of you in the academy already. I wasn't able to do a proper bridge on the 1st of September. Next post, 1st of October, I'm working on my kickover Shandor, but it doesn't always happen. What can I do? Can you see? 1st of September, I can't push to bridge. I'm not strong enough. 1st of October, so how can I take this kickover from the sofa all the way to the floor? A huge difference, guys. And sometimes we forget these things, that how much we achieved already, because we don't track the process. So make sure that whatever you struggle with right now, guys, whatever skill you're learning, I'm going to encourage you to post it in the Facebook group right now. I can give you some feedback. I can hold you accountable. Barbara can hold you accountable as well. Plus, I want you to look back in a month's time or 4 weeks' time and say, okay, wow, I already forgot that I couldn't even do, you know, the bridge. It's okay. But now I'm working on the kickover. This is why I want you to track your progress. And in the meantime, guys, relax and enjoy. You know, you are in a very good place. You can ask for questions, right? You can book your one-to-one. You can watch the videos, right, guys? You can get some feedback. Your parents are amazing. Everybody is supporting you. I have seen so many parents during the one-to-ones as well, guys, that you are being supported, whether it's the kickover or walkover. They're doing their best. They are there watching the videos with you. You are extremely lucky, right? They are doing an amazing job. You are doing an amazing job by being part of this community and learning with us and trying your best. So you might as well start enjoying it, right? Don't have to be frustrated because the handstand takes 2 weeks. That's okay, right? At the end, we're all going to celebrate you, and you can celebrate yourself as well, because you're going to get there. It's inevitable. Okay, right? So enjoy that process. So I just want to close or wrap up this session with one of my favorite quotes. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. Okay, it's from Henry Ford. So basically, what it means, it's kind of reassuring you guys that you need to change your mindset. You need to think of yourself as a person who is in the learning process. And if you believe in yourself, you say, listen, by watching the videos, by booking the one-to-ones, by putting a little bit of effort in, I'm going to learn that handstand. You're absolutely right. You will learn the handstand. It's inevitable. But if you think that, I'm never going to learn the handstand, you know what? I'm not even watching the videos. You know what? There's no point booking the one-to-ones. You know what? There's no point for me to practice five minutes a day. You know, I'm never going to get there. I'm sorry. You are right. Okay, so let's think about things like, okay, I'm going to get there. It's inevitable. I just need to put a little bit of effort into it. I just need to make sure that I get some feedback, break things down. What's the next step for me? What's the next step for me? You can post anytime you want. Shandor, what's the next step for me? Shandor, can you have a look at this one? Shandor, please, can you help me with this? It's all good, guys. Anytime, right? Make sure you post in the Facebook group. Make sure you start asking questions, because I want to make sure that the learning process is going to be faster for you. Don't struggle with a skill, right, for months, and don't get frustrated when you have the Facebook group, when you have the one-to-one session, you can ask that question. So why would you suffer? Why would you get, stressed over 2 months when we can probably, with a little feedback, we can learn the same skill within 2 weeks. Okay, so this is why I think it's very important for you to pick up a new habit. And instead of saying, I can't do this, you know, I'm not being able to do that, I can't achieve that, we're going to cut that T off. And then from now we're going to say, I can achieve it. I can learn this. I can do it, right? Okay, learning a skill, if you put the effort in, it's inevitable. And here we go. That's our mindset change. Okay, this is how we twist our mindset, guys. This is how we start really progressing. Okay, this is how we start focusing on the good stuff, right? Increase the number of the good goals. Okay, I'm not looking for magic, you know, straight away. Oh, I had 2 goals, or I watched the video once, boom, and I can do everything. It's never going to happen to anybody. Okay, start celebrating the small wins, get some feedback. Okay, make sure you embrace the mistakes and the failures. That's okay, part of the journey, and enjoy the process. Okay, guys, thanks very much for watching this session. I hope you find it useful. I hope you find it valuable. If you are watching the replay, make sure you comment below this video. How did you find it? Was it good? Was it boring? Or was it really bad? Right? Okay, if you liked it, make sure you give it a like. If you find it valuable, guys, just make sure you comment below. I would love to know your thoughts. As a parent, as a gymnast, how are you feeling right now? I hope it helps you.